You like to always say when you're on the program, you are a moderate Muslim.
Yes, I am.
Have the voices of the Islamic community, are they loud enough to take on the radicalism that's hijacking their religion?
Well, they're not loud enough. We need to gather momentum. Shows like yours have given voices to moderate Muslims like me, and it is good. And we need to gather up momentum, get more Muslims to start speaking, to let those radicals know that we don't care about them, they are very few, and there is no encouragement for them, and they shouldn't do what they're doing.
But your voice, to me, is unique. I don't think, well, Judith Miller, you're shaking your head no. You hear a lot of moderate Muslim voices speaking out against radicalism and terrorism and the hijacking of your religion, because the world I live in, I see a lot of people that are afraid they're going to be labeled an apostate, which means that they would be subject to death, right, under Islam?
I think that is the problem. It is the fear that so many Muslims who are moderate, who do agree with what you're saying and what Brigitte is saying and what others are saying, the fear they have of speaking out, of the reaction of their own community, until we get and win that battle inside, and only they can win it. We're going to go on creating the impression that the Islamists, the jihadists, are the majority, and they are not.
Is that right, Brigitte?
Not necessarily, because if the majority are peaceful, loving Muslims, then what do they have to worry about in their own community? Look at the Muslims in the United States. If there was ever a group of people who are protected under our Constitution to speak freely and be protected, and supposedly the majority of them are moderate, how come they are not bonding together? And if any radical hurt any of them when they speak up in defense of the United States, the radicals should be
squashed. So you're saying Mike is an anomaly? Mike Ghouse, you've debated him many times on my show. Is he an anomaly?
Mike, no. There are people like Mike, but where are the funders of people like Mike? Where is the funding? You're going to tell me there's not one mega millionaire from Saudi Arabia or the Islamic world that can give Mike $5 million and say, you know what, I believe in your moderate message. I want to help you build a grassroots organization.
Where does CARE get its funding?
Exactly. CARE gets its funding from the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Well, CARE is not getting, I think they used to get the funding from Middle East, but they're not. But the moderate Muslims are gaining momentum. There are more and more people. I'm in the community, Muslim community. There is a lot of support for what I am doing.
Does the Muslim community support me? Because I've been very outspoken against radicalism and Sharia and the treatment of women under Sharia. When you talk to people, they love the show.
Absolutely. Those Muslims, there are many I have talked, and I told them very clearly what you said earlier, that you distinguish between radical Muslims and Muslims and Islam.
But I'm afraid that the more moderate Muslims are afraid to speak out, and I think the numbers that have been radicalized are far greater numbers than we see, which is why we're watching. We're doing this special, because this to me, you know, when you see people laid out as we saw this week and slaughtered, cold blood murder, or the people, you know, that we saw, the 48 people in Kenya that were slaughtered in cold blood because they didn't give the right answer.